Now, we want to solve some questions here, and these are common questions in physics for your exam or UTME exam and other exams in physics that are very interesting questions. Now, let us look at them. There are just about 9 questions we want to look at, and let's quickly do that now. He said, what part of electromagnetic spectrum exhibits a burning sensation? The burning sensation is what? Infrared. Don't forget that gamma ray has its source from the nucleus. X-ray is as a result of what? When the electron hits the what? A metal target, they tend to what? Release what? An electromagnetic ray. So fast moving electron, they can produce X-ray. Visible light can be produced from the what? From the sun, or probably from a visible light. Now that is our answer at option D. Let's look at number 2 quickly. The acceleration of a falling body in fluid becomes 0 when it is at what? A, minimum velocity. B, 0 velocity. C, reducing velocity. D, thermal velocity. So that means D is the answer. When a body is falling in a fluid, it becomes 0 at what? At terminal velocity, where the weight of that body falling is equal to sum of the upthrust and viscous force. So that is it. Don't forget, at this point, the W, the weight of the object, will be equal to what? Upthrust plus what? Viscous force, when it is at terminal velocity. Number 3, he says shadow can be what? Can be blocked by dash, or shadow can only be formed when light is blocked by dash. Now, shadow can be formed by an opaque object. You cannot. A transparent object is that which allow light to pass through. But translucent body are body that allow what? Partial light to pass through them. So opaque object does not allow what? Light to pass through them. Luminous are a source of light. Those things are produce their own light are called luminous. So I believe the answer to that question is what? An opaque object, because an opaque body will produce a shadow when light hits them, because they don't allow light to pass through them. So they create a shadow behind. Now, number 4, each conduction is influenced by A, pressure difference. No, that's number 4. B, is temperature gradient. Yes. I'll go for temperature gradient. C, say potential gradient. No. D, says motion of particles. No. Temperature gradient it will change in temperature over length. That's what we mean by temperature gradient. And it's a vector quantity. So it means that what is influencing each conduction is change in temperature with respect to the length of the conductor. So that is it, per unit length of the conductor. So he said what? Number 5, if the temperature of a wet and dry bulb hygrometer, people mix this thing up. Hydrometer is to measure what? Relative density, while hygrometer is used to measure relative humidity. And better, we can use wet and dry dry bulb hygrometer. And but one funny thing happened in this question. He said if they are the same, the two of them, the wet and the dry bulb, so the relative humidity will be what? 100%. When they are equal, the relative humidity will be 100%. Number 6 says a drop of ethers on top of what? Mercury in barometer causes sudden depression of the column, because there will be a pressure. Ether will exert a pressure on top of that mercury, and thereby creating what? A depression. So let me see. Option A said what? Expansion of mercury in the reservoir. No. B, change in atmospheric pressure. Pressure exerted by the ether vapor. Yes, there will be a pressure. Fall in the mercury temperature. No. So that is what? The pressure. Why it will explain that depression? This depression that is explained is because what? There is a pressure exerted by the ether. Now let's go to number 7 quickly. He said what? In the conductor shown above, electric charge tends to concentrate most at point dash. Now we know that it tends to concentrate at a point where it will be sharp, a sharp point. And that I will consider this as my sharp point, because we know that electric field is equal to V over D. So that means the smaller the point, the distance, the higher the electric field. So that means that I will go with an electric charge tends to be what? Don't forget, E is equal to force over charge. So force over charge. So the point where there is sharpness, where there is maximum what? Don't forget, we can also have a electric field as well. KQ over R square. I hope you know this. So that means that whenever there is presence of charge, there's an electric field. So for me to measure a charge, I will measure what? An electric field. Because I cannot measure charge without what? And if there is absence of a charge, there will be what? Zero field, zero electric field. Now, they are telling us where is electric charge tends to concentrate most at this point. Now, the charge density, there's what we call charge density. Charge density is equal to what? Charge over area. The charge density tends to be more concentrated at the point where there is sharpness, like P, or the charge, electric charge tends to concentrate at the point where the point is very sharp. So where there is a reduced distance. So in that case, we have A as our answer. Don't forget that increase in charge at the point will lead to increase in charge density. Your charge density is what? Charge over area. It's measured in coulomb per meter, or although per meter square. Although we have, for A level, we have linear charge density, which charge over length. We have area charge density, charge over area. We have volume charge density, charge over volume. But I'm concentrating on charge what? Area charge density here. So which is what? It increases with charge at a particular point, and the density of a particular what? Of a particular region is as a result of what? How many charge accumulated that point. So if I'm permitted to distribute charge here, there will be more charge or charges that will be concentrated at that point compared to others. There will be more charges that will accumulate, that will concentrate this part more than every other part. So I will go with P, point P. Which of the following make of what heating effect? Which of the following make use of what? Heating effect in their operation. Electrical thermometer uses what? Heating effect. It uses heating effect because it measures temperature what? Change. So that means, and anytime you are measuring temperature change, or you think about the materials uses temperature, it means that heating effect will come in. There will be what? Because temperature brings about heat. Don't forget that when there is no change in temperature, it means that the system is under thermal equilibrium. That means it's balanced. So it makes use of what? Heating effect. Number 2 says thermostat. Yes, thermostat makes use of what? Heating effect. Then fuse also make use of heating effect. So I will go with 1, 2, 3. Then the pitch of a sound varies inversely with dash. Now, don't forget that frequency, pitch varies with what? Directly as frequency. That means pitch, we know what there's what we call pith coli. Pith coli. It means that pitch depends on frequency. Quality depends on overtone. Loudness depends on amplitude. And amplitude depends on intensity. Now, but there's a trap here. Don't forget that if what you have a particular frequency in this question and you have wavelength, my question is that, because I want you to work, can I choose B as my answer for what I've given you, or can I go for C? Type your answer in the comment section. Let's see what you have as your answer. Thank you. God bless you.